Sometimes you can't find a tutorial for the fake bake that you want to make, or you just want to challenge yourself to figure out how to make a fake bake on your own. And so I wanted to create a beginner's guide to show you all the materials and how you can choose the right materials to make your fake bake. Today I'll show you some of the most commonly used materials for fake baking and give you examples of what they're used for so that it'll make it easy for you to know how to use them. I'm going to be showing clips throughout the video of some of my previous projects and tutorials so that I can show you examples of what I'm talking about. If you want to watch any of those full tutorials, I will have links to those in the description for you so that you can check out how exactly to do the things that I'm showing in this video. One of the most used materials in fake baking is clay. So we have 3 types of clay that get used pretty regularly with fake baking. The first one is foam clay. So this is air dry foam clay, and it's very light and airy. So this one's great if you're making something that you want to look kind of fluffy, marshmallows or donut, things like that have that kind of like fluffy look. This one's also great if you don't need a bunch of texture on it. The foam clay tends to not hold texture as well. So if you're texturing with like a toothbrush or something like that, you press it in, a lot of it'll start popping back out. It's just the nature of the clay. So if you have something that you don't need so much texture on, this one's a great one. It's also great if you want to make a bread or cake texture. Once it has dried, you can take your X-Acto knife or toothpick and scrape it across the surface, and it will give that kind of crumbly texture of like bread or cake. The next type of clay is air dry clay, but this is like the hard air dry clay. So the Crayola is the brand that I use, but there are plenty of other brands out there. So this one you're going to use if you want to make something hard or heavier so that it's not so lightweight, or if you want to add a lot of texture with a toothbrush or something like that. This one will really hold the texture that you put on it. And then the last is polymer clay. And polymer clay comes in all different colors. You have to bake it to cure it, so it's not air dry, but this one's great if you need to roll something out really thin because it doesn't break as easily as Crayola air dry clay. That will get crumbly if you make it too thin. The polymer clay is a bit more expensive, so it's good for like smaller projects, little accent pieces. You can make like nuts with it. You can make your fake sprinkles with it. And with this, you can also like layer and blend colors. So that's keeps you from having to do that with paint. And polymer clay is also a great option if you don't want to have to paint your clay. So, you just get the colors you want and it's already colored for you. You can also grate polymer clay so that you can make like shredded coconut or shredded cheese. The next material is the lightweight spackling. This is my favorite brand, the DAP. It comes usually now, recently, it comes in a very white color and a great consistency to use. You don't really have to do much to it to use it. Some other brands, especially like the Dollar Tree one, will be a lot more dry and like a grayish color, so you have to add some paint to make it whiter. So the lightweight spackling is used for fake whipped cream or like cake or cupcake frosting, and also you can use it as ice cream if you add some either cornstarch, flour, or joint compound to it to firm it up. You can also mix it with caulk and make pudding. Next up, we have caulk. The caulk you can use for like chocolate drizzle and different sauces that you want like a solid color to. So for instance, like a cheese sauce or something like that, you can use caulk for. And then the next one is our 100% silicone. So this is clear. So this is great if you want something that's like gooey and see-through. If you wanted to make jam or jelly. Also, you can make your own molds with real foods by using the silicone and cornstarch and mixing it together. I have a tutorial showing how to do that. And then we have our resin. So the resin comes in 2 parts usually, and you have to mix those together. The resin is great for using for clear sauces that you want to put on things. So for instance, like pancake syrup, or if you're making something with like berries, you can use that as your sauce that's like kind of dripping down or whatever. It's also great for clear drink. You can color it with alcohol ink, so it maintains that clear look so you can see right through it. Another thing that we use a lot in fake baking is beads and clay cane slices. So for the beads, I like to use these that I got on Amazon. They don't have holes in them, so they actually look like real sprinkles. But I also grabbed these at Dollar Tree, and they do have holes in them, so, you know, not quite as realistic, but they still turned out really super cute. So any kind of beads actually can work. The next one is corncob bedding. Corncob bedding is used in place of nuts on like caramel apples and different projects. You can also use it as like a crumble. You can add paint to it to make different colors of crumble toppings or whatever. It also makes a great fake meat. We also use sand to make fake sugar. So you can buy it just white like this, and you put Mod Podge on and then just sprinkle this on and it looks like sugar. You can also mix it with some Mod Podge and some paint and make crumbles that way, kind of like graham cracker crumbles or something like that. Epsom salt makes a great salt substitute on your fake bakes. This gap and crack filler foam. This is great to make bases for cupcakes. I've also used it as foam on a beer. Any drink that you need foamy, this is great. It comes in white, and then there's also kind of like a yellowy looking color, kind of off-white or something. I also made my Twinkies out of this. Styrofoam, these discs here, these are from Dollar Tree. These make a great little cake. You can stack as many as you want to make a layered cake. You can also buy like sheets of these and cut them into whatever shape. So if you wanted to do like a cake slice, and then styrofoam balls make a good cupcake base. And styrofoam also makes a good filler if you don't want to use so much clay. So like if you have something that's big and you want to kind of fill in some space, the styrofoam is great to do that. You can just kind of wrap the clay around it. In place of powdered sugar, you can use either baby powder, or I like to use this joint compound. So it's just a white powder. So you can replace powdered sugar with it on any of your fake bakes that need that. Also, you can mix it with the lightweight spackling to make ice cream. The reason I use the joint compound is because it's not a food. Baby powder is not a food. I would not eat baby powder, but it's just cornstarch with some fragrance in it. So technically it's a food. So I like to just give people options of things that they can use that are not food. So that's what I use, and that's what I recommend to people. So I hope that this has helped you get started on your fake baking journey. Be sure to check the description for links to all of the products that I've shown here, and links to the videos that have flashed on the screen when I'm talking about certain things. All of those will be down there for you so that you can check them out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the most amazing day, and I will see you next time.